Welcome to today's action packed episode of Beyond the Classroom with Bhavna and Dia. In today's episode, we dive deep into the journey of inspiring professional who balances their career and passion very well. Today, we have a special guest with us, Aditya Batra. Aditya is a seasoned B2B SaaS professional at Zuddl, a leading event tech platform with over a decade of experience in sales and marketing.
In 2023, he reignited his passion for acting, leading to a commercial with West Indian cricketer Nicholas Pooran. Since then, he has worked on high-profile campaigns for Bayouth and Bergman Mall. Originally a child actor, Aditya returned to screen at the age of 35, fulfilling a college promise with a friend. Balancing his professional and personal life, he is a dedicated family man and a passionate, aspiring actor and model, driven by the magic word action. Welcome, Aditya.
Thank you very much for having and thank you for those generous words.
Welcome to Beyond the Classroom. So, Aditya, can you share with us your journey from B2B SaaS professional at Zuddl to reigniting your passion for acting? How did this transition happen?
Well, it's not really a transition. I continue to work at Zuddl. It's a fantastic event tech software that caters to B2B professionals and associations. We are solving for issues for event marketers and marketing leaders. It's something great that we have built and we continue to build. It's a fantastic team that I work with and very inspirational leaders, a space that I would want to be in. When it comes to acting, it's something that I've always wanted to do, but just didn't have the time. So I tried to find a way to balance my work life and what I wanted to always chase, which was my passion. And I still continue to do that. Whenever I find the time, I figure out, okay, what can I do? Is there a course that I can do? Can I apply for an audition? Can I speak to someone? Can I try to network? And that's how, step by step, it got me to point A to point B to point C, and hopefully continue to.
Okay, Aditya, we have seen you as a child actor. We have seen a small advertisement of yours जहाँ पे Century Mattress की ad की थी आपने.
हाँ जी.
You are in that karate mode with a punchline. It's very sweet and you're sleeping on it.
Yeah.
So as a child actor, how was that experience for you?
So background to this, right? My parents, like every other parent, put you into some sport or the other. They chose me to put into karate, right? And I would enjoy my karate every single time. One of my other friends in karate, his mom or dad, I don't really remember, was very small at that time, but they were into casting and all that. And they saw me doing karate very energetically, all the time, full of energy. And they said, इसको ऑडिशन कराते हैं.
इस बच्चे का
उस टाइम पे मेरे को मालूम भी नहीं था मेरा ऑडिशन हो रहा है. मेरे को बोला गया था वो मैट्रेस पे चढ़ो और जो आता है करो.
I tell you that is so confident of you standing on that mattress with that karate pose.
Because I didn't know it is an audition. So I am just being a kid. After my karate class took me there, I'm like, karo. And I'm just doing that. Next thing I know, I'm doing a cartwheel on that, I'm doing a split on that. And they're like, done. My parents and everything. And I'm sent there. मेरे को बोलते फिर से करो. हो गया. Ad बाहर आ गई. मेरे को मालूम ही नहीं पड़ा.
Oh.
So none of your friends or classmates or they saw the ad or something?
No, of course they did. Later on I did come to know. But when it was happening on that day when the shoot was happening,
yes.
I was like, अच्छा ये हो क्या रहा है? I didn't know. It was my first time. But everybody was very supportive because as a child, when you're on set, they like to pamper you.
Oh, yes.
So then I kind of enjoyed that also at that time. That, it's very nice. यहाँ पर चॉकलेटें मिलती हैं. है ना? घर पे नहीं मिलती. यहाँ पर मिलती है. So that was very nice and the experience was also very nice.
तो स्कूल में कुछ स्पेशल आपको ट्रीटमेंट मिली आपके दोस्तों से when you were on the newspapers, in the screen? कुछ स्पेशल ऐसे हुआ था स्कूल में?
टीचर से तो ज़रूर मिली थी कि कभी-कभी पढ़ाई भी कर लिया करो. To be honest with you.
Classic है ये बहुत. This is a very classic thing.
But friends were very small, but they were very happy. एक भाई तू पेपर में आ गया. मैंने बोला गलत रीजन के लिए तो नहीं आया.
Because उस जमाने में पेपर में आना आई एम श्योर भावना बड़ी बात ही होगी, राइट?
उस टाइम पे प्रिंट ही चलता था ना.
प्रिंट ही चलता था ना.
डिजिटल तो था नहीं.
डिजिटल तो था नहीं.
एग्जैक्टली. it was print. और तुम पेपर के कौन से पेज पे वो भी डिपेंड करता है. और यहाँ पर कैंपेन जो लॉन्च हुआ था पूरे इंडिया में लॉन्च हुआ था तो my parents started getting calls and they were like we didn't know like at that time you don't ask these questions के अच्छा what is the reach going to be, is it going to be outdoor, is it going to be
इतना आइडिया ही
print?
नहीं होता ना किसी को भी था मतलब उस टाइम पे.
नहीं फिर इधर उधर एड्स दिखना शुरू हुई फिर एक होर्डिंग पे दिखी.
Did you get more offers after that, or
I did, to be honest with you. There were a few of them that came.
Okay.
But I didn't know which ones I chose. It was not up to me at that time as
But
well. Right?
you did do more ads. Or
Yes, of course. I did an ad for an oil.
Ice creams.
No, not really, unfortunately.
Chocolates?
No.
पेरेंट्स ने अप्रूव नहीं की होगी आइसक्रीम वाली एड.
पता नहीं मेरे को. This information is undisclosed even till today. So yeah.
So, जैसे बचपन में you did these ads and all, and then now you've returned to acting at the age of 35.
Yeah.
So you returned to acting to follow your passion.
Yeah.
So how did this Bay Youth come into picture?
Look, me returning to acting, I think, was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Because it was always within me. I think when it was a point where in college where I met one of my closest friends to date, Unmesh, and he said that, let's make our life comfortable and then follow our passion, right? I said, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Like, we can't do it right now. We'll be struggling if we do it right now. But if we make our life enough comfortable, then maybe we'll be able to follow it with our whole heart, right? And that's how it happened. And you suddenly, when at 35 it happened, and from there on, I picked it up. I went to a class, went to another class, a third, then an audition, and then so on and so forth. You just keep going at it. Bayut, I got a call, I again applied for an audition. I got a call saying, would you like to, as in you've been shortlisted, and you're the director's choice.
Wow.
I didn't know of course I was over the moon, but at the same time, when somebody says you're the director's choice, then you have a lot of expectations also which are set, right? So they said that you'd like to have a call with you to kind of take this through. Okay. And then I'm sitting over there, I've been told a time, and out of nowhere, we're on a call. And there's the director. He mentioned I play out a scenario or two, and I'm just there at that time. I'm like, okay.
This is on the spot.
This is on the spot. The scenario has been explained. And then I try to probe more questions to understand exactly what is he looking for. Because you really need to understand the character they're looking for. That's very important. If you don't fit the bill, you could be as good looking as you think you are, but you're not going to get it because they may be looking for something else. Right? So you need to be clear to understand. So then I asked probe more questions. He was very kind enough to tell me what it is. And then I asked him, okay, how do you want my reaction to be when I'm doing it? Because in acting, there is obviously, you have reactions from 0 to 10 of any emotion. So where do you want it to be? He said, why don't you do it at your most extreme, which is 10. And then if we have to bring it down, we'll be able to bring it down. All right. Okay. And then I started acting it out completely, and I just wouldn't stop. Like, I just wouldn't stop. I would just keep going and going and going because as an actor, when you're trained, when you are in the scene, you don't stop till you hear the words cut.
Okay.
So he didn't say that. And I didn't stop. So I kept going. And then he said, okay, cut. So I was all right. And then he said, okay, thank you very much. And in between that, he asked me to make one change, right? So when the call got done, I'm thinking, you replay this in your head, right? What could I have done better? Could I have done something better? And then, or you just make a peace with it, that I did my best. Sometimes what happens is when a director tells you to redo something, it's very easy for us to think that I've done something wrong. But in actual reality, it's that they see something already that they're looking as a final cut. They want you to better it. It could be anything, like increase that emotion, decrease it, anything. But you need to take it in a positive sense. And then a day later, I got a call, and like, you've been shortlisted, you've been selected. This is what it is. And I was like, okay, I still need to stay grounded because now the work has to be done. And I still want to remain grounded because there's a lot of work that has to be done. Yeah, it was a fantastic experience. The director gave me some very good feedback. The team was fantastic from the client side also. It was great.
So did it help you, progress faster?
Every work that gets published obviously helps you. Bayut, definitely. It's one of the big brands there.
Yes.
I get calls even right now. I get messages, I get screenshots saying that we've seen you here. it's nice that people are right now noticing the hard work that you kind of put in. How many people can actually say that?
That's right.
True.
Absolutely agree with it.
Yes.
आदित्य बैठे बैठे ना मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है मैं विराट कोहली से बात कर आई एम श्योर यू आर नॉट सरप्राइज्ड इफ आई गिव यू दिस कॉम्प्लीमेंट यू लुक सो मच लाइक
Similar
विराट
to him.
कोहली
I do get this a lot of times, and I'm thankful of it, right? Because he's one of the greatest players of our generation. To look like him, that wasn't in my hands, right?
of course
This is not something in my hands, but I do is what I hear. It feels nice, of course, and I also play cricket. So
Oh, yeah.
talking about cricket
1% of that of his talent, if I was there in cricket, I would have been much more happy. But yeah,
so
thank you very
talking
much.
about cricket you did an ad with the West Indian cricket player Nicholas Puran.
Yes.
Did he say something similar? How was that experience? I'm sure it's a different when you go into the cricket world and
Yeah.
doing an ad for that.
Yeah.
Tell us more about this.
When I did an ad with Nicholas Puran, that was my first ad right out of graduation from my acting course. And this call happened on the day of when I was supposed to be at my graduation for my acting course. I could not be, so I had to end up being at the shoot. And I'd called my coach at that time, Mr. Leo Wong, and told him that, I can't be there. He's like, don't worry about it, right? Because he's also been very supportive. Every time I get a requirement, I always seek his reference or how do I kind of do this? And he's very clear enough to tell me how it is. But with Nicholas Puran, how it worked was that I didn't know that there's going to be Nicholas Puran on the side. I had no idea. In the audition, I was shortlisted as a main friend. And I was like, okay, which means I'm the main friend. Somebody else is going to be with me and we're going to shoot this commercial. Great. And the call time was, I think, at 8 in the morning. It was somewhere in downtown Dubai. It was at a cafe. And the scene was of a breakfast scene. And from the corner of my eye, I see somebody passing that looked like Nicholas Puran. I'm like, all right, this is Dubai. You have celebrities walking in and out on a daily basis. May have come here for breakfast. Great. And you don't want to disturb them, obviously, because they're here for breakfast. And I'm sitting at my position, like I'm sitting with you guys right now. And the next thing I know is he just comes right there and just sits and says, good morning. I just look twice and I'm like,
Oh,
good morning.
Zapped,
I'm just zapped there. I don't
amazing.
know. I don't know how to react because he's Nicholas Puran. I mean, he's
Yeah.
one of the most fantastic West Indian cricketers today.
Yes.
You see him play on TV, right? You are
Yeah.
still fans. But he was such an amazing person to work with, so down to earth. To a point where when he wrapped up his shoot, he made sure, and I was still doing my lines at that time, he made sure to come on the set, thank everybody, just let everybody know for the hard work that they've put in, and then leave. And that was very kind of him. But he did mention, we had lunch together, we spoke IPL a bit. No controversy topics, though. Just regular how IPL is going to start at that time, stuff like that. And then he did, not him, I remember, but somebody else from his team did mention, has anybody told you, you look a little bit like, I'm like, yes, I have been told that. I have been, I'm like, yes.
When you see that ad, you
That
actually
I-
go back
No,
and you see who is it.
And moreover, that eyebrow shot of yours,
Yeah.
the one eyebrow
Yeah.
going up, that was like really amazing.
Thank you very
shot,
much.
yeah. So you are a dad,
Yeah.
you are a B2B professional,
Yeah.
you are an actor,
Yes.
and you still do your fair share of parenting.
Yes.
So this is not possible without a good support system at every end.
Of course.
So what role does support system play in you balancing everything perfectly and still be able to be yourself, unwind and relax?
Look, I think there are two parts to this. One is how the support acts, and the other is how well do you understand your responsibilities, right? You have certain responsibilities that you are supposed to fulfill no matter what. You can't run away from them, right? And that is something that I do day in, day out. Sometimes my passion for acting takes a hit for that. It does. But I can't help it because my primary goal is me being responsible for certain things. In this, sometimes what the second part comes in is the support system. How does this support system play out at those times, right? There is a positive effect of the support system. There is a negative effect of the support system, right? It's unbelievable sometimes from where support comes, where you'd least expect it.
True.
And you'd be surprised sometimes that the support does not come from the people you sometimes expected. So, yes, there have been times where I have felt like, the stab does not feel as much as the person holding the knife. I've been there. But there have been also times like, wow, I didn't believe in myself I could do this, but, you just pushed me a little and I surprised you and me in this. Because a lot of people were like, no, I don't think you can do this. And one person was like, try, just give it a shot. You want me to come with you? Support can just be as small as that.
Yeah.
So it really helped. And from the support that sometimes where I didn't get, I would try to channelize that energy to show it on myself, in my work, use that energy to show something, not to prove it to these people because I think we are beyond that,
Yes.
but just that, let's try to turn their thought process around.
Perspective.
Let's see if they're able to actually one day come and tell you that this is good, you did a good job. That's it. At the end.
Unexpected but good.
Yeah, and then you feel nice that this is nice.
Sometimes it's not about who has said this, but
Yeah.
what have they said. There's
Yeah.
no harm in giving it a
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
and channelize the energy.
Yeah, channelize the energy because what happens is that there are a lot of things that, as an actor you need to do. One, you need to make sure that you're still practicing what your art is, right? Which is the basic of it is making people believe. If you've been hired to do a job, you need to make them believe. Otherwise, you're not doing your job. Second is, are you staying active, right? So as and when you get these thoughts of, why didn't that person or whatever, it's much easier to use that energy to probably run that extra kilometer, right? Or to use that energy to do like an audition at that time with the best of your emotions coming out. And emotions are powerful, right? So, yeah.
Talking about the feedback, we have learned that your child, he does have feedback on every single ad or modeling assignment you do.
Yeah.
So how do you take those feedbacks from your child, and what is the funniest that he says about you?
He has a lot to say with every ad, to be honest with you.
Do share something with us.
So I remember us discussing this some time ago, but yeah, I come across quite serious. If you don't know me and if I'm sitting quietly, I would come across as a person who's extremely serious, but I'm actually not, right? So there are times where, like in the ad with Nicholas Puran, where I had to raise my eyebrow that way. So I would show, I'm out. This is my first ad after a long time. I want to show him, and I put it on the big screen over there, and I sit with him, and I'm like, I go for it, and he like, the moment it finishes, he's like, I said, what?
That was the reaction.
Yeah, I said, what does that mean? That eyebrow thing you did, no? I'm like, yeah. No, Papa.
Oh, really?
I'm like, okay, what do you think I should have done? He's like, should have just remained that way. I said, okay. And there was another instance where I was doing an audition at home, and I told him that, listen, it's going to be a little loud. Do not come into this room. Don't worry, Papa. Everything is going to be fine. And in this audition, I had to do a little sequence of action, right? So you have to act like you're going to hit someone. And I just did that. And he just froze. I said, what happened? And he started crying. I'm like, oh my God. Bro,
My dad hitting someone.
I told you. Because I used him also in the audition over there. I'm like, I will not hit you. I will just make sure over here. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? So there are a lot of funny things that happen. Eyebrow is one. He's trying to tell me, any photo shoot of mine happens. He comes and says that, did you do your eyebrows properly?
Oh.
I said, yeah. Show me? Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's so sweet of him.
Yeah. Kids are very pure, right?
Very nice, very innocent, right?
Yeah. And
expressing everything.
And no filter.
No filter.
That's
Unfiltered
I wish
feedback.
we as adults were like that as well. Conversations would be so simple.
I wish.
But उसके pros और cons है.
दोनों है.
ज़्यादा direct हो तो सबको पसंद नहीं आएगा.
So let's start talking about certain factors that, help in the progress, but at the same time it's important to understand how they help in the careers.
Okay.
So let's hear your thoughts on hard work and discipline.
Extremely important and supportive of each other, I would say. You can put in all the hard work. Let me put it this way. You can manifest a thought, right? That thought can be your reality only if you have the discipline to walk through it. And discipline is something that happens day in and day out. Not something that I was also born with. I understood this, but with my grandfather, I come from the army background.
Okay.
And I always saw my grandfather doing the same thing every single day for the most amount of his years. And I never understood that as a kid. I'm like, why do you eat the same thing? Why do you walk the same kilometers? Now I do. Because it gets you where you need to be. So, yeah, hard work, absolutely put in the hours. A bit of smart work involved with hard work. But discipline is something you can't play around with. You need your diet.
Following the regime is very important.
Following the regime on a daily basis, figuring it out where you need to reach. Because as an actor, no casting is ever going to wait for you. True. If they're looking for an actor in a certain way, they're not going to give you 10, 12 days or 2 months to prepare yourself. You need to be ready right then. Are you? You need to ask yourself that question. That's it.
So what are your thoughts about rejections and failures? Not every assignment you get.
Yeah.
So how do you take rejections and failures?
You need to be okay with the fact that every time you apply for it, you're going to be rejected. To be pleasantly surprised or not. So in a day, I try to apply to at least 50 castings. And I expect absolutely none of them will write back to me. But I make sure I dedicate my time disciplinedly for those 50 castings, regardless of expecting an outcome. It's nice to expect, but it leads, if you're hoping for something and then it doesn't happen, it leads to disappointment. So rejections are very important to help you understand that you're in a market which is extremely busy and people are not waiting out there for your profile to come in. Because that's how you start feeling, right? No, that's not how it is. So they're very important.
So it's a saying that, it's important to be at the right time, at the right place to get what you want.
Yes.
So how important is networking for a professional in any career?
Very, I would say. And to be honest with you, I'm extremely bad at it. I have, when you're trying to balance yourself with different roles, there has to be some time where you figure out that, when do I do this? Now I'm trying to figure out, if I have 4 Saturdays, I'll try to do 1 Saturday and try to network with like-minded people. I'm trying to find that. But these networking opportunities are supposed to be treated to have discussions, like work discussions, like, oh, I did something like this. How do you think I could have bettered it? And so on and so forth. Yes, there are in these networking opportunities where you sometimes get asked that, hey, would you like to meet for this script or something like that? Yeah. But they are in any profession, I would say, whether it is, being a father, to meet like-minded people like that.
Yes.
When I go to pick my son up from school, as a B2B professional, in office, when I'm networking, or as an actor, I think it is absolutely important.
So you switch roles all the time.
Yeah, I
You're
have
a
no
professional.
option.
Yeah, you're a parent, you are working. At times, there are over-expectations, the term over-expectations attached to different roles that you play. Have you ever experienced that?
Over expectations come from within. People can expect anything from you. If you let them, then that's a different thing. Or are you setting boundaries? Right? Like, over expectation would be like, I would be able to do everything in one particular day. No. I need to accept, I need to be patient where I am not able to do certain things, and I need to be okay with it. If I'm not okay with it, then it kind of bleeds into my entire day, or it'll bleed into your entire day and not let you be okay with any aspect of who you want to be, whether it's your father, being a father, or a B2B professional at that time, which is work. You need a clear mind when you're going to work. You can't take the baggage of, I didn't perform well as an actor. Or when you're playing with your son, you can't have the baggage of, I didn't do good at work. You just need to be, I'm okay with it. So over expectation, I think, is something that comes from within. You set your own boundaries. You set your own targets.
Right.
But then over expectation of people around you,
Yeah.
then how does it effect.
Your child must be expecting, नहीं
Yeah.
पापा ने मेरे साथ time spend करना चाहिए.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have a assignment, but you have a show of your child in school.
Yeah.
He will expect.
Yeah. I think that is where I try to balance things. When I know 10 days before that there's a show of my son in school, I will not take something up at that time. I will
Creating
not.
a timetable kind of a thing,
Yes.
deadlines.
Yes. So you need to prioritize your different roles as well. But there are times where on a Saturday, like right now, I'm speaking with you guys, but my son is expecting me to be home and play cricket with him.
Oh,
So I need to make sure that I tell him that it's a day off, right? Yeah. So I can come back and play with you, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Apologies to your son.
No, not at all. I'm just saying that I think expectations can be discussed. When they aren't, is when it turns into over expectations.
Right.
okay. So let's talk about your more upcoming projects. What is in pipeline? When more will we be able to see you?
I have a few. One that I'm very excited about is I had the opportunity to work with Mr. Khalid Almiri.
Wow.
Oh.
It was a great experience, to be honest with you. He's one of the most nicest people I've ever met. That is one. I have another one which is for Gatorade India, which should be out very soon.
Okay.
And I have a few more projects lined up, so let's hope for the best.
All the best for that. Yeah.
So, coming to the lighter note of our show, let's get you on the hot seat
Okay?
and shoot some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yep, let's go.
Name one thing people would be surprised to learn about you.
I'm a bathroom singer.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Okay. So, favorite place for you to unwind in Abu Dhabi?
Home.
If you
Nice.
could star in a movie with any of the actor, who would that be?
Abhay Deol.
Okay. I'm a big fan too. What's a must have item in your acting kit or acting place?
My notes.
What's your favorite way to spend time with your family?
Watch cricket.
Okay. Who's your biggest inspiration in the acting world?
This is a tricky one.
You can name a few.
And there are so many, to be honest with you. There's, I think, from an acting perspective, I really like how Abhay Deol is and what he's done.
Yeah.
Then there is James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender. There's so many, and they've all had different kind of journeys. So you can't really name one. It gets very complicated like that.
No issues. Tell us about a hilarious blooper from your acting career.
Where I thought I was going to be the main lead, but I turned out to be a sidey at that time, and I had no clue, and I was like, okay, let's just go through with it. Work is work. We have our
All is
ethics.
well,
Let's go.
all is
All is
well.
well. All is well. Worth ethics. Let's just go for it.
So, any celebrity crush that you have?
Not really, to be honest with you.
No crushes?
Not
Really?
really.
No.
Don't see it that way.
Okay.
Okay. Any worst audition experience you had or heard of?
Auditions are not. They're not. I don't think it is worst, to be honest with you. Have I done bad auditions? Absolutely. Because there's always a way to better it. There's always something that you always think that I could have done this, but that's not the reason you could have gotten selected. There's a different reason altogether. But yeah,
Any destination in your bucket list that you would love to travel to?
so many. South Africa is one. The country is amazing.
So I've heard too.
Yeah, so that's 100% the safaris over there and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good luck and safe travels if you're traveling in recent vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Aditya, for joining today
My
with
pleasure.
us. It was amazing to hear your acting journey, your upcoming projects. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
We wish you continued success in all your endeavors, both acting and your work. Keep chasing the magic word action.
I shall.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment on our platform. Signing out for now. See you for the next episode. Goodbye and take care.